What we do here is go back.
So recently, Sicknoobie has finally released this dedicational defense, and I figured right now would be the perfect time to talk about Realish Reborn. So I booted up the game, expecting to have some fun, have a good time, enjoy myself, but then I remembered, no, we're talking about Sicknoobie here. There is no fun when talking about Sicknoobie. When it comes to Sicknoobie, there's just so much shit I can bring up, I don't even know where to start with him. He's egotistical, he's overly defensive, he's allergic to criticism, he's got every single trait that makes a Roblox developer a cunt. Now, this doesn't happen because he lacks the self-awareness to see his behavior, even though he does. This is a product of the fact that Sicknoobie is one of the most trollable, fuckwithable, massable people in the NVZ community. Fucking with Sicky is kinda like calling a Roblox Twitter artist a faggot. It can happen all the time, it can be as repetitive as possible, but somehow it's still going to bother them. Now, for the sake of keeping a degree of seriousness in this video, I am not gonna be using any of that or any of that lingo to make a point. Matter of fact, I'll simply use it for comedic relief. Of course, for the sake of argument, I'm also not calling anybody a faggot. And with the disclaimers out of the way, let's talk about Sicknoobie. Every time I take a piss, I bleed a little bit. I don't have health insurance, so I guess that's it. No game is perfect. Every game has its little flaws, and Realish Reborn is definitely not perfect. But there's this one thing that allows a game to be successful regardless of perfection. It's called criticism. And time again, Sicknoobie has proven to be deadly allergic to said word. He treats his game like it's a fucking baby. If you bring up any sort of criticism, he's gonna be overly defensive about it. And if he gets to it, he insults you. And the lack of self-awareness comes when you realize that when it's about any other game on the NVZ franchise, Sicky really loves to run his mouth about it. Sicky is one of the harshest critics this community has, but when it's time to talk about his game, criticism is suddenly harassment, his community is suddenly ungrateful, and we are once again back to the cycle of people bullying poor Sicknoobie.
I'm really sorry, Joe, but you've got prostate cancer, man. Ah, shit!
Let's talk about dedicational for a moment. Sicky reportedly spent the previous month playtesting and working on dedicational defense. And although this is a much better event than the last year, it runs like shit. Now, in the situation of an unoptimized game, many other developer would go take a look to see what's causing all of these performance issues. But we're not talking about normal developers here. No. We're talking about Sicknoobie. And to Sicknoobie, what's causing the lag in dedication are non-American servers. Now, of course, anyone else would see this situation and think it's bullshit. I mean, what does server region have to do with performance? He region locked the fucking event because of this shit.
Oh, but Exotic, it says over there, VIP servers are not affected by the region lock.
First of all, stop being a little faggot and trying to justify laziness. And second of all, that only means Sick didn't even try to optimize his game in 1 month. And this isn't even a one-off. His game as a whole runs like shit. Glorious Mountains, Giant's Peak, these maps are going to fry a CPU and Sicky is not going to see an issue. Actually no, scratch that, Sicky will see an issue, he's just not gonna blame himself for it. But he will instead bring up a non-existent Roblox bug that only he in specific is going through. Oh damn, my NPCs are running like complete garbage, so I'm just gonna blame Roblox for it. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Project Lazarus, Zombie Uprising, Notoriety, even fucking TZO use the same Roblox AI as you do. But for some reason, it's with you and you in specific that Roblox has a pathfinding bug. Well, you know what? I get it. It's not your fault, it's not Roblox, no, it's those filthy Germany servers. You didn't even have to try. Speaking of not trying though, go to sleep, little Sicky, go to sleep, little Sicky. This has to be one of the most interesting parts of this shit dev archetype. I wanted to picture the following situation. Your game is being butt fucked, and I mean butt raped by exploiters. And it reaches the point where your anti-cheat alone is not doing you any service. As if that wasn't enough, your community has been complaining recently, because who would have guessed that your decision to nerf every single good gun to the ground over your paranoia about the meta made the shooter game play like shit. Now, in this situation, what do? You hire new moderators, you sharpen up your anti-cheat, you talk to your community to understand what's up, and hopefully make a better experience for everyone else.
Sicknoobie didn't do any of that.
But what he did do, however, well... The server was closed down for a fucking month before he opened it up again. But instead of addressing the issues I brought up, his immediate choice was to pull the plug on the fucking game like a pussy. He was bothered about the fact people were complaining, but he didn't care about why they were complaining. This is a fucking passion project. Why are you complaining? What do you mean I have to balance my game? You're the one who should be meta-mancing. Oh wow, another day, another instance of Sick not listening to his community. You should know better at this point that this is just how he is. He doesn't listen to his fucking pastors. The only people Sick even bothers hearing are Farbot and Molitor. And that's because all they do is nod along to his shitty decisions and make irrelevant suggestions that don't affect anything past the things they like. And what do I mean by that? Like, Farbot only complains about mutants. That's all he cares about. And Molitor only cares about begging for useless shits only militants can use. So, to the testers that actually matter to Sicky, it's all about humans and mutants. Noobs versus zombies, be damned. Don't forget that these are the only people Sicky actually bothers listening to. If you're not one of his little yes men, trying to convince Sicky of something is like talking to a brick wall. Except this brick wall is going to either A, go back and forth on defending his little game, and eventually settle down on a completely different idea that has nothing to do with what you suggested, only so he can say that he did something, or B, completely throw away your idea, wait a few months, and then implement it like the idea was his. And that's only if you're a tester. If you're a completely normal member of his community, then good luck. To sum it all up, Sicknoobie is an extremely stubborn developer who surrounds himself with yes men and immediately collapses at the face of community criticism. I understand defending your game from shitty insults, but you need to understand where these insults are coming from. And as a developer, you should balance and optimize your game to the furthest degree possible, and not blame non-existent Roblox issues that only happen to yourself. But anyways, I sincerely hope that Sicknoobie can at the very least prove everything I said wrong with time. And I hope that I could get my points through, or at the very least entertain some little cunt watching this shit. I'm ExoticTakeos, and thank you so much for watching Content Cop Sicknoobie.
I'm in need of medical attention!